This is Up for Debate, episode number 313, recorded June 4th, 2026. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the debate podcast where the two hosts agree on everything. I'm Sean Jennings, joined by the original page turner. It's Matt Mariani. Hello, Matt.
What's going on, Mr. Sean? Every book has its cover, and we are cover guys.
Yes, we are covering books tonight. Yes, that's right,
Yeah,
Matt.
we are.
Chapter by chapter, paragraph by paragraph, word by word. Yes, we're talking books tonight, and I know everyone just turned off their podcast player, but don't do that yet. I promise it's more exciting than it sounds. We've done Dream Daddy now for a number of weeks, had a great time. We are going to go back and revisit it at some point, no doubt about it. We got more dates to go on, but we're pivoting to the summer, and one of the fun things we do just about every summer is our summer reading list, and we're going to do that, I think, probably next time, where we'll pick out some books. Matt is going to read some on his vacation, and we'll catch up later in the summer. But I thought to transition from Dream Daddy into books, it might be fun to do an episode on the concept of books and reading, Matt, especially in this high-tech, mobile phone, computer, AI world, where, I think books are being a little forgotten.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask you before we really quickly pivoted to going on air. We don't have to have our book picks ready, right, for today?
No, next week.
Okay,
Next
good.
week.
That's next week, because I'll be ready next week. But
I got a couple of picks I'm actually pretty excited about, so I think people should definitely come back next week. Because I'm ready to read. I read in the summer. I'm not really a winter reader. I like to sit outside and read. And I would like to read more. I don't really read that much outside of what the show requires me to. So I'm pretty jazzed about it.
Yeah, no, this is one of our Up for Debate traditions that I really enjoy. I mean, I enjoy all of them, but this is always one that we come back to. We've been doing it for a number of years, I think, since I I I was thinking since the pandemic, but I think we've done it even before that. I think it's been it's been a while since we've done our summer books. The process has evolved, in different ways, but it's no, it's been good. It's been an enjoyable time.
Yeah, we kind of half-assed it last summer, admittedly, where we picked books, but then didn't read or discuss most of them. So this year we're going to do better. This year we're following through.
Before we go and get into our book chat, or our
yes,
I guess our preliminary, our kickoff to the book chat, I do want to mention some quick housekeeping, something that I noticed about our former stream, or I guess our current stream that we're just not doing this week, but we'll return to in the future, of Dream Daddy. Sean, how is it possible every time we have played Dream Daddy and we have streamed it live on Twitch, how is it possible we have never uttered the words Stream Daddy?
I didn't do it because maybe it's just I think because I never did it, and now and joined by, as always, by the Stream Daddy Matt. I never thought that's a good one. I should have used
I know.
that.
I thought of it. I thought of it like randomly. I don't remember why. I was just like Stream Daddy. Like we're playing a game called Dream Daddy on a stream. You would have thought like the title would be Stream Daddy, or the game, like at some point somebody would have said stream and daddy together. And as far as I know, that has never happened.
Yeah, because we did, because in the episode titles I did Dream Maddie.
Yes.
And I did Dad Zaster.
Yep. And I saw like flipping over. I always open Twitch while we're streaming, and I think it said that I forgot what it said. It said that it was like now start. Streaming Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. And I was just like, how we've never called it Stream Daddy. But I had that thought before I even
fixed
went
that.
on Twitch.
It actually said, because because the stream title is books, which I had set ahead, but I didn't change. So it said Streaming Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator, books, which is great.
Yeah. Books and more books.
Hell
Um,
yeah. We're gonna get into specific books, but tonight we're gonna just talk about the concept of books and literature and reading. And we're gonna do, Matt, a classic up for debate format that I'd have to look at the last time we did it. It's been a little bit.
Sean, did you
Um
know that they brought Book It? They brought Book It back. Book It has returned.
Pizza Hut Book It.
Pizza Hut Book It is back. It's back.
Oh, look at that. Bookitprogram.com. Can we like do it?
Yeah, I think it's for everybody.
During the summer months of June, July, and August, any child that meets their parents' set reading goals can earn a free Pizza Hut single topping personal pan pizza from participating locations. Oh, it has an app though. Use the Book It mobile app to set
No,
goals, track progress, and redeem
I
rewards. That's a
I
bummer.
knew they were gonna do something like that. I knew
Look
it.
at
I knew
this.
if they
Oh
ever
my!
brought it
And
back, it was gonna be all
you can compete against your
electronic.
classmates.
I mean, this is basically just Goodreads. I mean, I think we
Yeah,
both
for
use
children.
Goodreads. Like, it's Goodreads, but for children. But I guess if do you still get it? Is it still a personal pan, or is it in this economy? Is it like a
It
bite? You get like a bite of pizza, or like you get to smell a pizza.
Yeah, you get to go into a Pizza Hut. Apparently though, no, we have to be attached to a school who's doing it. You can't, because I thought, Matt, it would be fun for you and I to compete against each other in the Book It app, but apparently adult men cannot join the Book It program.
It's not for adult men, huh? What is these
English
days?
language arts curriculum teachers. You
Can I
probably know
ask you
some.
what is for adult men these days?
Oh man, it seems like nothing. In this woke
Seems like
economy.
nothing.
No, all right, no.
Nothing is for adult men. Not they
Which,
take away
which,
book it
yeah, man. Where's my personal pan pizza?
exactly. Yeah, no, not to get too far
I
into
think.
Pizza Hut, but
Yeah.
they are also making a resurgence. A number of Pizza Huts, I think across the United States of America, are waking up to the reality that people don't want to just have them as a takeout option. They miss the nostalgic feel of dining in a Pizza Hut. Do you feel nostalgic for dine-in Pizza Huts?
I feel nostalgic for the pizza parlor concept. I don't know. I think Pizza Hut is a perfectly fine one, but I do think going to a place that's like kind of crappy, but not super crappy, with like kind of old chairs and really plain walls and like one TV in a corner where you sit and eat a pizza as a group. I do miss that. That is the pizza parlor is cool. Now, if that's Pizza Hut, hey, whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, when was the last time, Matt? Let me ask you, when was the last time you went with people to a restaurant to get a pizza to share at the restaurant?
that would be actually a number of weeks ago. I
Oh,
went to damn, I'm not wearing the shirt. I was wearing the shirt earlier. Um, so we went for it's kind of a novelty, but we went to a pizzeria that does a like a contest where so the contest is if you eat it has to be it's a double extra large by
mm-hmm.
yourself with no help in under 30 minutes, you win a free t-shirt. And I was wearing the
And you
t-shirt. I don't have it on anymore, but
you won the T-shirt.
I won the t-shirt. I did.
You ate. How did we not talk about this?
I don't know. I don't know. I
When
ate an
did this
entire
happen?
double extra large pizza, and actually, if they're on, I don't know if they're on, but both Jelly Jubilee and Honda were both there with me. They didn't share my pizza because obviously it's against the rules, but they did have their own pizza that
They
they shared.
they watched. Did they eat and win the challenge as well, or was that just
I
you?
have pictures of. I could send you the
Oh my god!
pictures of. They did. They spectated me eating this entire pizza. Um, and winning a very gorgeous T-shirt that I wish I had. You might have seen me wearing it on my other stream on the Tomorrow is Canceled pod stream. It's like a throwback 80s cartoon. I think it's all like He-Man, but it's got
Mhm.
all the He-Man characters and they're all like eating pizza. It was a really cool shirt. That's what made me be like, let's drive an hour down south and get this pizza. And
Well, I'm definitely bringing it up on the stream tomorrow, and asking them in the chat about it for sure.
yes, as you should. as you should. I don't
Now, how many
think they're
books
on
did
right
you
now,
have to
but
read to do that?
see, I feel like there should have been some kind of a reading limit or prize, but uh as it turned out, I had to read 0 books to I just had to pay money.
Well, so let me ask you this question, Matt. We'll eventually get to the show topic, but I think this is interesting. You know, for children, right? Read books, get a personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut is an exciting prize. Now, you were a grown man. If I said, Matt, if you read 10 or 20 books, you get X prize. What would be a good prize? And let's say it's not food. It can't be food.
Strippers.
What
just kidding. Just kidding, folks. This
that
is a family show.
honestly, no, you laugh, but if I saw on Twitter or something, it was like, you know, Henderson, Nevada Library offers, you know, strippers for books promotion where you get free lap dances for every book you read to help literacy. I'd be like, yeah, I'd buy that. That sure, why not?
I feel like you know, like maybe a sports jersey of my favorite team.
Okay.
That might be a cool
That's
prize.
pretty cool.
Sports jersey, maybe movie tickets. I don't know.
Good one.
Yeah, movie tickets would be cool, or even tickets to a local sports team. Like we have a minor league baseball team in our town. Maybe something like that. Yeah, no, that would probably I love the incentive part of the Book It program. Like that was very cool to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised see, this is like my business brain, but book publishers who are struggling should band together to create a competitive app where people can compete with each other and you can win prizes for reading books. And that's subsidized by the publishers to get people to buy and read books. And you can get like sports stuff or beer or, you know, something cool with your points.
See, I guess the problem there is though is how do you prove that you read these books and you didn't just lie? Which I guess was always the case with Book It. How did they know? They knew because your parents would be with you, and you're like a kid, and the parents would be like, "Don't lie to this, you know, adult." Which all kids lie now, but I feel like the honesty part is the integrity part because unless you make them take like a quiz about the books they read, it's kind of like, oh, well, I want free stuff. I'm just gonna say I read all these books.
Did your school ever have a program called Accelerated Reader?
I feel like we did. That sounds like something we might have had.
It was a version of that where you would read books, but then you would take an online quiz on the book you read to see whether or not you read it. And then you got points for when you successfully passed the quiz.
Okay, we didn't have this. I was thinking of something else.
And I only say, and we had it at our school where it was like once you had a certain number of points, you got like a stuffed animal, or like it wasn't anything impressive. But I bring it up because I am still bitter about the fact that I was a voracious reader as a youngster, and I busted my butt to get my total score up, and I came in second place at the whole school, and some other kid beat me by like a few points, and it was very devastating, and I'm still devastated.
Well, sorry to hear that, Sean, but you know what? You have a very successful podcast now.
That's not true, but I do have a podcast.
And it's not this one, but it's maybe the other.
Yes, no.
I was talking about Don't Panic. You have
okay.
You got a very successful podcast, and then you have this one.
Well, listen, I have a very successful friendship with you, Matt, and that's why we're the perfect guys to be talking about books this evening. So we're going to be doing our classic this or that format, which I'm very excited about. Matt, you're the originator of this idea back in the day. This has got to be this or that 7 or 8 probably over the years. It's as simple as concepts come. It's blank or blank questions, this or that questions. And we're going to debate which side is better, except all the questions are book themed. I know you've got some, I've got some that we're going to talk about. Are you ready?
Oh, open me up. I'm a open book. Wait, no.
Okay.
Crack me open. I'm a book
egg?
that's waiting to be cracked open.
Okay. Like Humpty Dumpty, you're going to fall off the wall and crack wide open.
Yep.
Matt, let's start with this. Physical book or ebook?
Okay. For this, really, I'm gonna go. I would go physical. Well, if I have to give like a quick answer, I mean, it's always like
Yeah.
if it's a quick preference between the two, I'm always gonna be a physical guy. I just notoriously love physical forms of media. Always have over electronic. I'm not a big fan of the download age, the digital download age. That being said, though, I'm not one of those people that will outright reject the ebook. There are some people that like claim they can't read, they can only read physical. I call these the physical book Puritans. These are the PBPs, right? Physical book. These are the ones that are like, I can't if it's not if I can't hold it in my hand and I can't flip the pages, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want it. You
Yeah.
might as well throw it in the trash. Like, no, I I'll read ebooks. Ebooks are fine. I think that there is definitely a place for them. I appreciate the portability. I mean, look, I'm also a guy that loves to travel, right? I can't travel with, 5 or 10 books. It's those are damn heavy. And they
Yes.
take up a lot of space. So the idea of putting all of my like a library of books, hundreds of books, on a thing that fits in the palm of my hand is incredible. I have actually 2 Kindles, not counting the one on my phone. Um, I have a larger one and I have like kind of a more portable, like smaller one. So I love ebooks, but it would never be my first choice. If I have the ability, if I'm home, I'm not traveling, I would almost always choose the physical book.
Yeah. I think that's fair. And Matt, I hate to tell you, I am a physical book Puritan. I cannot read a digital book. I have tried. The problem is, I'm going to totally admit this sounds crazy, but it's true nonetheless. When you read, your eyes track the words, right? And in the English language, you're going left to right. You go down a line, left to right, go down a line, left to right. On a digital screen, for books, like I can read short sentences, but if I read page after page after page, my eyes skip around. I actually have a hard time. I don't know why. And it's on a Kindle. I have a hard time keeping track of where I am on the page on a digital book, and I have no clue why.
Sean,
And I think it's because I'm crazy.
we're gonna put that in the same box as your iced coffee. Remember was it iced coffee? You had never drank iced coffee in your life?
Mm,
Or no, was
No.
it tea? Was it tea? You never
Yeah,
tried
tea I never had.
That
No, I
was
never
it.
had tea.
Yeah. We're gonna
Yeah.
put that in the same box as tea. And you prefer iced coffee, right?
No, I like hot coffee
The
too.
the the boxes things that I should know about you but don't. The fact that
Yes.
you don't like
Yes.
you really seem to me like an ebook guy. But going
No.
into the show, I would
I
have said
want to
for
be.
sure
I want to
you
be,
would be
Matt,
an
because
ebook guy.
I
I'm
fly
surprised.
with physical books, and it sucks. I was reading a book. I'm not joking. It was about that thick, and I took it on an airplane. I don't want to read physical books. I have a bookshelf full of books, and I've moved them a bunch. It's not fun. But no matter what, there's just something about a page. Maybe it's because you're physically flipping it, and my eyes are adjusting to a new page versus it just. I don't know what it is. Now that being said, I do have a judgment. Kindles are fine. I have no problem with a Kindle. I think that's a totally acceptable. I'm not going to judge people for that. People who read books on their cell phone are crazy. I see people all the time on their iPhones in the Kindle app reading a book. You already stare at your phone for 16 hours a day. Like, it's crazy to me. I like, just my mind does not wrap around the ability to like be on your phone. You're like, you're on Instagram and you're getting a text message, and then you flip over to the Kindle app and start reading a book. Like, I just don't get that.
Yeah. I understand that. I have the app on my phone. It's certainly not my preferred. It's probably my least preferred way to read. The only time I would do that though is in a situation where if I'm waiting for something that's taking longer than I expect it to.
In
Like
a
if I'm
pinch.
getting my oil changed and
Yeah.
I've already done my Duolingo for the day, um, you know, if I and I'm bored with that, or if I don't have internet, like consistent internet, I have a book or two already downloaded and I can just pull it up there. But I'm not reading for long on my phone. You're right. You're right.
Oh,
We do
I've
spend
seen
too much
people.
time on our phones.
I've seen people read whole flights on their phones, which is
No,
crazy.
no,
Hours. I'm like, my eyes would fall out of my head.
Yeah.
So no, in general, totally fine with people reading digital books. I get it, but in a world, and by the way, I think even if I could read digital books, I like the physical. I like to hold it. I like to flip the pages. I like to bend the corners when I save a spot. I don't know. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but I get the benefit. I do. The convenience is pretty darn high.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about convenience with me with the e-space. Um, but at the end of the day, the physical book Puritans, the PBPs, they do have a point because I think there is something to holding a physical book that you can't really translate. And then there are also some books that are just better as physical books. Like I know House of Leaves is the first one that kind of jumps out at my mind, or like the Rorschach text. It's like,
Well, I guess it's just that it's different, right? Because the other thing is I see people like, because with an ebook, you can scale up the text, for example, or put it in a different font. But then you could just be reading an article on NewYorkTimes.com or a blog post, or it could be anything. The thing about a book is it's special because it's a book and it is what it is and it's formatted the way it is. And it's not like anything else you have because it's a book. And I don't want a book to feel like, I want to feel special when I sit down and I open it up and I flip through the pages. Whereas if it's just another app, if it's just another chunk of text I'm reading on my phone like I do all day, there's a little bit of a magic lost in that.
yeah, yeah, I get that. I get that.
But if I were also flying around the world, yeah, no, I wasn't going to carry a library. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think it's more of a convenience thing for me with the traveling. I got one for you.
Please.
Would you rather, or I guess it's this or that, but it could also be would you rather, um, have a library card to any library in the US,
Yeah.
or go on one bookstore shopping spree.
It's a one-time
This is
bookstore
a
shopping spree
one-time book shopping spree
at one location.
At one location versus a
But I can
library
pick
card,
any location.
and you can pick any location. Yes, and the shopping
And
spree,
the library card is permanent
yeah, for life.
for
And
life.
it's a golden library card that you can use at any library, or
a one-time, one-store, unlimited
store,
book shopping spree.
not unlimited. Not unlimited.
Oh, what, like I have like an hour to grab as many books?
Yeah.
Was this like a Nickelodeon kids?
I'm picturing like the supermarket sweep, or what was the kid?
Yeah,
sweep. I'm picturing that. You have that. That actually would be cool.
I was about to say, for the fun of it, maybe I'll pick the bookstore. I think realistically, I think we can talk about libraries versus bookstores, and I would say I have a super strong opinion one way or the other. But the thing about a bookstore only has what it has, and it won't change, especially because I only have a 1-day shopping spree or whatever limit you're going to put on it. So I can only buy what's there today. The great thing about libraries is they have old things, they have new things, they have all kinds of different things. They also have movies and magazines, although I guess bookstores do too these days. And so, no, I guess I would pick the library card. I think now, if it was like, a Amex card that will work forever for any purchase at a at a Barnes and Noble, any Barnes and Noble, and you have an unlimited budget over time versus a library card, that might be a little harder. And I still might lean library because, again, what you don't get is old books. Not that I'm a big library guy, but the idea that because I can go to any library in the world, the idea that I could take out a first edition or some kind of cool old book would be more interesting than I think just whatever stuff Barnes and Noble has. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. No, that's a tough one. I would probably lean toward the sweep. I think I would do the the bookstore sweep.
That is fun.
It would just be it would be kind of a fun. It would be a fun thing. But you're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, you only get what's in that store at that time. And I like to read a lot of older books. I also tend to read only like 1 or 2 books at a time. So I feel like I would do the sweep and then a bunch of them would just sit around. Like in my house. I'd be like hoarding all these like books that I'm never gonna read. Yeah, no, actually, I take it back. The supermarket sweep, the bookstore sweep sounds like a nightmare. I think I would 100% go library card.
It's definitely one of the. I was gonna. So let me ask you a follow up question then, because now you do have me thinking of the sweep concept. A store you go in, and over 30 minutes or whatever, anything you fit in your cart is free. What is the best and worst store to do a sweep style contest in? Bookstore might be one of the worst.
It might be. Um,
I mean,
it might be.
I think first of all, jewelry store is the right answer if you want to maximize your dollars.
Yeah.
Like a fine watch store or something like that, or like could you do it at a car dealership and you just
I'm,
grab all the keys? That
I'm
would
gonna
be
tell you
cool.
right now, the best it would be a winery. A
Oh, okay.
winery would
I
probably
like
be the
that,
best. Yeah,
especially with the rare bottles and
because
stuff.
those last
Yeah,
wine or liquor store supermarket
build
sweep.
out your cellar.
That's probably the best one.
I like
The
that.
worst one, maybe a gas station. No, actually, gas stations have some cool things.
That might be fun.
A Bucky's would be fun too.
Oh, Bucky's would be fun. Yes.
Yeah.
With the word here, okay. Let me pitch this as the worst one. An animal shelter.
Yeah. That's not. I mean, it's
It's an all you can
outside the
eat,
box.
unlimited sweet mat. Take as many as you want.
Yeah, yay! I get to take care of all these animals.
To be fair, I was going to say orphanage, but I thought that would be too much.
Yeah, no. Yeah. What would be like? What would be something? I'm
Well, I
trying to
think
think of like either
a
something
Best
really
Buy
hard
would
to.
be fun. A Dick's
Yeah,
Sporting Goods would be fun. They're not interesting,
but
but I think
what's
they'd be
something
fun.
hard to transport and or hard to like keep? I guess for a long time, like oil or
Gun
like.
store?
No, there's some people who would love that.
Maybe like a rock quarry?
Yeah, maybe museum gift shop. That might
Oh,
be bad.
that would.
I don't
But that
know.
also could be fun because you get some weird stuff. Like
Yeah,
museum gift shops have some of the goofiest stuff.
you basically never have to shop for your nephew for Christmas ever again. It's just, you're just set. You you did the museum gift shop sweep. You're good.
Like,
It's a new
oh,
thing every year.
great! Another Williamsburg historical pen. Thanks, Uncle Matt.
Yeah, you know what? If it's like a local museum, then that would be that. Yeah, that might be the answer. Or like a pickle. You ever been to a novelty pickle store?
I don't
We
think
have
that's a
one.
thing. I think you just made that up.
No, we have one by us. It's maybe
No.
not novelty, but no, it's everything is pickled. It's just like it's a store that just has everything is picked. It's real. It's a real place.
Mm,
It's right by me.
mhm. If you say so.
The toilet
You,
store? No.
well, think about it. Hey, listen, if you have an opinion out there, email us up for
Yeah,
debatetv@gmail.com.
this
Let
is
us know what
something where
store
I
you would
would
like
really
to
like
sweep
to
through.
hear people's opinions on that. What is the worst supermarket sweep location? Let us know.
Okay. I've got a pitch. Worst supermarket sweep location, Hudson News at the airport.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it is just like it's not fun. It's like the most generic, like, but it's not like big quantities of anything, and it's all
Yeah.
like just stuff no one ever wants unless you're in an airport.
Yeah, like dime books and
Yeah, like a People magazine and like some Tylenol
it's
and like
really
some
just
mints.
if you're in an emergency situation where you've lost your phone and
Yeah,
everything else and
and a sweatshirt that says Columbus, Ohio on it.
yeah,
You
and you're
know,
just like I need to read something right now. Yeah.
um, good one. All right,
All right.
well, good. I'm glad we got to the bottom of this one. All right, Matt, let's get another one for you here. Now, are you a one book at a time reader or multiple books at once reader?
I'm a multiple books guy, but
Okay.
not many. I think right now I'm currently reading 2. The most I would probably go up to is like 3. I don't think I would read more than 3. And they have to be a good balance of genres. I can't really read something in the same genre at the same time. You know, if I'm reading like well, I'm reading one science fiction and I'm reading one hard-boiled crime noir detective. Those are the 2 books I'm reading right now. I might throw a fantasy one on there because we have to read. I've got some homework. I have to read one of the Fourth Wing books for the other pod.
Which one? Fifth wing, sixth wing, seventh wing,
We're up to the sixth wing now.
sixth wing. Okay.
The sixth wing on Onyx something, and we have to. So that one I might throw that one on, and that'll be a third book. But by that I'm kind of almost wrapping up the crime noir book. So, but anyway, yeah, I don't think I wouldn't go more than three, and they would all have to be different genres. Usually I haven't. I'm not. It's rare that I'm not reading a nonfiction. These are all
Mhm.
they all just happen to be fiction. I'm in a very big time fiction mode. I'm trying to hide from reality. So, um, that's me. What about you? What about you, Sean?
Well, first of all, I'm going to pitch. I think it would be so funny if next week, when we're suggesting books to read, you suggest the Fourth Wing Six book, have me read it, but not read any of the other ones, just to see how confused I get.
Oh yeah,
That would be funny.
that
Um,
that's an idea.
no, I am. Well, a couple of things. One, I think multiple books at a time is wild. I'm a one book at a time guy, but I'm a fast reader. I blast through books at an incredible clip. I will, like, for example, when I travel for work, I'll go to Vegas. It's like a 4.5, 5 hour flight there, 5.5 hour flight back. I'll get through 1.5 books on those flights. 200, 300 page books. So I'm a fast reader. So I don't have books lying around. If I start it, I usually finish it within 2 or 3 days, and then move on to something else. So it would be very unusual for me to have multiple books running.
See, I have to say I'm basically the opposite. I'm a notoriously I'm a very slow reader. Um, I like to really take my time. I like to kind of imagine the characters, and sometimes I do like voice acting in my head of the character. I like to like really. I'm a very cinematic
Sure.
reader.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's great.
but it's cool. I mean, I try to get like as fully immersed into the world as possible. But unfortunately, it does mean that I take a long time to get through uh, volumes.
Well, but that brings a follow-up question for me, which is, are you a rereader?
No, absolutely not.
Say that
I'm
that's
definitely not.
I'm a huge I have books I've read 4 or 5 times because I blast through it so quickly the first time that I either don't remember all the details, or it just, like, I read it over 2 days, so a year from then it's not really something I go, oh, I read it again. So I think that's part of it.
I'm not a rereader and I'm not a rewatcher. I'm a big time neither. Big time
Yeah.
not because I just if I already know what's gonna happen, I have a really hard time getting invested. I have a really hard time trying to justify to myself why I'm not having a new experience. Like
But also, that's, I think, kind of the key difference, though, is I know you read some nonfiction. I read no fiction, basically, except whatever you assign to me. So it's all nonfiction. So it's all stories like I already knew how they happened. Like, it's not like I am spoiled after reading it the first time. It's just more recalling all the little bits and pieces and all the details of the story that you don't remember after reading it. And I think that's why that works, because I agree with you. If it was fiction stuff with a twist or an interesting outcome, and then yeah, it wouldn't be as fun the second time.
yeah, I would probably be more amenable to rereading nonfiction, but I don't think I can. I don't remember a book. The last one I kind of remember was Cloud Atlas. I reread that,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I guess like enough time had passed where the rereading of it was or I guess also I reread The Hobbit a couple times. That one I keep coming back to. It's kind of like a nice like familiar story with a familiar space. I'm doing a reread of all the Lord of the Rings because I'm listening to the companion podcast where they're also going through like chapter by chapter and doing like a kind of a book talk. Something like that would get me to reread. If I'm doing it for like either my own podcast or for a thing I'm listening to, then I might be more inclined to just to reacquaint myself with it. But other than that, I have a hard time. Yeah, because I'm always just like, well, I got to get to the next thing. If I like this author, I want to know what else he wrote, and I want to read all
Well,
of
but
it.
you also, the other thing is, you have a big book queue,
I do, I do have a
which I
huge
don't.
book
I
queue.
usually have one, maybe two books I haven't read sitting on my shelf. And so there's not a lot of rush for me because again, that's and then I end up rereading stuff I've already read. But then I'm in like I don't feel I have to clear the queue, and I want you to respond, but also I got to just say this out loud so I don't forget. Eventually, we may end up doing movies this summer, depending on scheduling, because I know you're out for a while. I have never seen a Lord of the Rings movie, not one, ever. A thought.
See,
Anyway, keep going.
that should surprise me, but it surprises me far less than you
No,
saying you're not an ebook guy. So far, that's the
no,
most surprising thing that I've heard all day, and
yeah.
probably all week. That shocks me. You just really seem like an ebook guy. It's because you're such a tech guy. You know,
Well, that's what
you're
it is
always
because
like
I
the latest tech and
every waking hour of my day, I am staring at some kind of screen. It is no joke the one non-screen thing I spend time with in my life, and I will hold on to it with my dying hands because I desperately need to not be looking at screens.
no, I think that's valid. Yeah. Um, what was I was responding to something else.
Oh,
What
about
was
your
it?
book queue?
Oh, my book queue. Yeah. No, I look at that thing and I think about, my own mortality, and I'm like, we all have only a certain number of rotations around this sun, and, I'm like, "Am I ever gonna finish this? Am I ever gonna read all these books?" Like, time is ticking, I'm in my mid-30s and, not getting any younger, and, like, and why we have jobs and lives, and, I'm like, there's just so much to do, but I'm always
Yep.
so tired, you know?
Yeah. Yes. I know the feeling. I
So
totally
it's like
understand. Well, that was one of the this or that questions that didn't make the list because I just didn't know how good of a discussion it would be. But it was, would you either only read books from this point in the past, or only be able to read books from this point into the future that were written into the future? And it sounds like for you to kind of get this weight off your
yeah,
shoulders, if you couldn't read, you can only read new books. There's only so many that are being written, so
yeah.
it might be easier.
I would 100%. It's actually an easier decision than I would definitely read books from the past for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and I would probably regret there are some modern series, like I just read the Artemis Files. That was a really good read, and those came out, like, pretty recently.
Mhm.
Um, you know, but so I would miss out on stuff like that, I guess, but there's also no ongoing series that hasn't concluded that I'm, like, super invested in right now. I guess unless you count not definitely not super invested anymore because too much time has passed, but, like, Song of Ice and Fire would have been cool
Sure.
if but we're
Sure.
never gonna get the conclusion to that, so, um, and, you know, I would definitely pick the books from the past. I mean, I'm reading this really great crime noir novel I mentioned before, The Big Nowhere, and it's not a sequel, but it's in the same series. Have you ever heard of the Black Dahlia? Like, the
Yes.
Black Dahlia was the first book, the first novel of the series, and the second one's called The Big Nowhere. It's called the L.A. Quartet,
Mhm.
and it's James Elroy, I think, is the author, but um, it's got all this like 50s talk and like that whole genre. That's a cool past genre. I tend to like the older fantasy books better,
Mhm.
like Ursula Le Guin, um, and Tolkien, stuff like that, like from the past, Discworld, uh, Hitchhiker's Guide, all that stuff was
Yep.
was already written, and I don't know, I might be speaking too like broadly here, but I feel like those authors just had more. We're always standing on the shoulders of giants,
Right.
and
Very
I
true.
just feel like we keep just reiterating people who have come before and just trying to outdo them and failing. Like, so I feel like I would 100% be a read anything from now to the past, versus now to the future. Yeah.
Well, since you happen to mention it, not this again off topic. Have you watched Spider Noir with Nicolas Cage?
That is on my movie queue that is equally, if not larger than my book queue. It
Okay.
looks great. It looks great.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Well, do you have another question on your list?
I do. Um, are you more into actually, are you more bookmark or dog-eared pages?
Oh, dog-eared pages. Bookmarks are a joke. Maybe that's another upside of ebooks that I do like. Is it does save your place over multiple devices in real time, which is pretty cool. But in a physical book, bookmarks, man, you lose them. You got to do something with them when you're reading. And also, I'm of the opinion, and listen, people should use libraries. They're a great public resource. However, I buy books, so sue me. But I bought them with my money, and if I want to turn the goddamn corners of the pages, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad. It is a very easy way to mark the page. I do that. The one downside of doing that is I love when I pick up an old book and there's like a receipt as a bookmark from like 5 years ago, or like an old there was one where it was like when I bought the book like 15 years ago, like there was a slip of paper in there. That is fun. But for the most part, no, I don't need any extra paper in my books. They come with plenty.
I was gonna say I love those old receipts, especially if it's a library book and it's the guy's name is on it. I That's actually the book I'm reading right now. The sci-fi book is from the library, and it's it's got it's got an old receipt in it. Perdido Street Station is the book by China Millville. But it's yeah, it's got like somebody else's name and it's got like the date they returned it. This is something kind of
Mm-hmm.
cool and nostalgic about that. Where do I begin with this? If you're a dog-eared page guy, are you
Yes.
also a lick your finger and turn the page guy?
No, usually I don't need.
That's
Usually the
got to
pages
be
turn fine on their own.
there's got to be some kind of like generational thing with that. Cuz my grandma is a big lick your finger, turn the page
I think
person. My mom
my
used to
theory
be but is not anymore.
my theory is books used to suck more, like the actual printing of them and the paper and the ink and whatever. And in olden times, they got in the habit because the pages did stick together because the paper was bad. And now we don't need to do it, and they're in the habit. That's my. I literally don't think I've ever had a new book with sticky pages. But again, if I went to the library and got old books, that might be different.
Probably also less of a grasp on germ theory too. Like, constantly licking your finger and yeah. Um yeah, no, I don't do that. I'm more of a bookmark person, but with a caveat, which I'll mention in a moment. Going back to the dog ears, I do use dog ears, but in a very specific way.
Mm-hmm.
I use dog ears the way that an e-reader would use a bookmark. What I mean is, like, if it's a significant page or if
Sure.
there's something on the page that I want to come back to and reference. I'm in grad school right now. And so if I'm ever reading a physical book for grad school and I know in our next discussion this is going to be like useful for the discussion, I'm going to dog ear that page. Like, I'll come back to it. But I don't use it generally to hold my place. That would be more the place of a bookmark. But the bookmark, Sean, the bookmark is not actually a bookmark.
No, people who buy
I
like
don't use
a literal bookmark, that's crazy.
I use bookmarks if they're given to me. If it's like a
Yeah.
gift or
Yeah.
I don't buy my own. No. But I use lottery cards, scratch tickets specifically, scratch offs,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
because I put it in, right? I read the book, and you might be better at this than me as like a faster reader, but when the book is done, then I scratch the lottery ticket. It's a reward. You get a reward for finishing the book, right?
That's a very
It
mad
takes me
idea, and I
years to
love it.
finish books. It takes me years. So
Well,
by the time I'm
those
scratching that
tickets
lottery ticket,
expire.
it might be expired. Yeah. So that has happened before. But luckily, I never win anything, so it doesn't matter. But I think they say the best kinds of rewards are frequent and random. So
Well,
treat
this is our
yourself
version of
today.
Book It, right?
Buy it. Go to your local uh go to your local library, pick up a book, and then pick up a lottery card and give it a shot.
Use it as your bookmark. I love it
Scratch off.
actually. That's I would have never thought. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is one of the fun things that is cool about bookmarks is anything can be any object can be a bookmark. And I am a guy like I wouldn't do it for any length of time, but if I'm like reading a book and I get interrupted, but no, I'll come back. I'll shove my phone as a bookmark. I'll shove whatever's lying around in between those pages to like hold it up for 5 minutes till I get back. But I do think the idea of like buying an intentional bookmark that's nuts.
That's kind of robbery. Although they're like if you're gonna do that, you got to get one with little tassels on that. The tassels.
Oh,
Kind
well, and by the way, there's some beautiful ones, but I'm just like, you would have to read books enough, but you can only use it in one book at a time.
yeah.
So it's like, if it's someone like you where you have multiple active books, where you're going to buy multiple bookmarks?
Right. Right. And then
Wacky.
yeah, I've seen people use paper clips as bookmarks.
Oh, sure.
You know, kind of.
I also think the book with the string on it that you can kind of lay in between the pages, makes sense.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that's strange.
Yeah, maybe like a nice you get like a nice tome like Moby Dick, and then there's like yeah, like a string bookmarking device. Be kind of neat.
Agreed.
Then I think you're up. Your question.
Okay, and we have time for I think just one more. So Matt, if there's one on your list you really want, you're welcome to jump me. Otherwise, I'll go here.
Fire away.
All right. Uh, would you rather only read books over 500 pages or only books under 200 pages?
I was hoping you would ask this.
Yeah,
I
it's a thinker.
I think I used to be the former and I've become the latter. I've gotten especially coming from like when I was a kid I read all the Lord of the Rings books, right? As individual books. But that now I have it I'm reading it from a tome of like where they're all just in one compendium, right? One collected book. And it feels more like an epic to me, and it feels like all the books would kind of like make sense as one edition. I'm also reading. I've taken a break, but I'll probably start up soon. My summer book is it's called the well they call it the Sandoverse. I don't know if you're familiar. It's a fantasy thing. It's Brandon Sanderson.
Hmm.
He's written all these books. They all kind of like interweave. There's the Mistborn series, which are like shorter, kind of like 200 to 300 page books. But then you've also got the Stormlight Archives, or like his like meat boy fantasy. And I finished the first one last summer. It was around 1,400 pages, one book. And finishing that book kind of made me like I got so into the characters and the world, and I was like so fully immersed. It's like you don't want to leave. 1,500 pages or so, but it goes so quickly. It like flows so quickly, and it's hard to really establish that kind of feeling with characters that they're only around for like 200 pages. Not saying you can't definitely, there you could absolutely form some bonds with characters in shorter novels, but in they just have more time to breathe, and you can include more characters, and you can flesh out the world. Like, so for my fantasy, for my sci-fi, I would love a 500 page. Just I'm gonna take this book to every beach I go to. I'm gonna take it on every bus ride I'm on, every plane ride I'm on, every hotel room. I'm gonna have this book with me, and I'm just gonna plow through it in one summer, or and or just a weekend or something, and really get fully into it. So I got to go with a 500 pager.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I mean, I think it's a busted question because I don't think length necessarily correlates to quality. To me, though, there is a difference between a short story and a novel, right? And I think of like a Stephen King short story, or we read the first Witcher book on the show many moons ago, which is comprised of a number of short stories. That was great. So I think you can have short books that are good, that are short stories. But I agree with you. If someone's plan is to write a novel or tell a full length story, I do think it's hard to do in fewer pages. And in my experience, the books I've liked the least tend to have. I ordered a book, and it was about, what was it about? It was about AOL and Time Warner's merger back at the dawn of the new millennium, which is it is an interesting story. I ended up buying a different book on it I liked a lot more. I bought this book. It showed up. I never look at page count when I buy a book. And when you buy on Amazon, it's like really hard to tell because they don't really show you how thick the book came. It was like a pamphlet length thick. I mean, it was so short. And I opened it and the font was huge. So right away, I'm like, okay, this is like not going to be good. It turns out it was not good. And so I think, if you want to tell a full length story, you need a full length book. And that's what I read. I don't read short stories usually. So no, I would rather take a longer book. And there are lots of 500 plus page books I've read that I've really enjoyed. So no
How
doubt
are you
about it.
gonna, how are you gonna, where are the gains from those small little books? Where are the gains? You got a big 500, or you could just curl. You just
You
curl
got
it.
well, but the problem is
You
I
get
flew. I
swole.
should look up.
So you get your beach
Um,
bod while you're reading your book. Like, can't do
I'm
that
trying.
with a smaller book. 200 pages not gonna form the muscle mass.
So there is a book, Powerhouse: The Untold Story of the Creative Arts Agency, that I read. It is 784 pages, and I flew with it on an airplane in my bag, and I regretted it immediately
Yeah.
because it
Well,
was massive.
we also read, what was it, of Mice and Men, of Dyson
Of
Men.
Dice and Men,
That was pretty
that was a
short.
short book.
Yeah. That was one of the shortest books I've ever read.
Let's see, which it's still available on Amazon. Well, it says 336 pages.
Mm.
I don't know if it says print length. I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I'm
an editor's pick.
not too
Baloney.
sold on that.
Baloney. Oh God. Don't ever just like browse random books. There's a lot of
No.
bad junk.
I don't need any more
Oof.
additions to my backlog. It's already massive.
No, not at all. Well, as we get to the end here, Matt, I will say both of us, not that mine gets updated, Tom, we're both on Goodreads if people want to follow
are.
us.
Yeah. No, I definitely give me a follow. Give us both a follow.
Because
Sean,
I have.
are you a
Mhm.
hardcover or a paperback guy? I feel like that one's a quick one. We can fire it up.
I'm impatient. So if there's a book I want, I will buy the hardcover, but I don't need it.
Yeah, I guess for me, it's not really a prep. The only time it really mattered is the fantasy series I mentioned earlier, um the Stormlight Archives. The book, because it's so big, I actually had to buy the same book like 3 times because
Mm-hmm.
I bought it in paperback, and the paperback edition that was like the small portable kind, and it fell apart on me twice in the exact same way, where like the first, like, the cover falls off, then like a page will fall off, then like the spinal adhesion comes off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the second time I bought it, but the second time I was, reading it, the second copy I had bought, because the other one had fallen apart on a trip previously. We were in on Nantucket, and at the beach on Nantucket, and a seagull kind of like swept down, and I was in the water, and it took the cover right off the book. So like took the cover off the book and it like flew away with it. So then my third time around, I bought I didn't actually buy the hardcover, but I bought a larger paperback version that's like a little bit more sturdy. Um, but that's definitely one, like, more pages. I feel like a hardcover might be better to have, because it's harder to, if you're to read it. It might just be easier to get the hardcover.
I will say, because I did log into my Goodreads, and I decided to sort my books by average rating of every book I've read that I've logged on here. It's not every book I've ever read, but there's about 70 books on here. The lowest rated book I've ever read, If I Did It, Confessions of a Killer by O.J. Simpson.
That's the lowest,
3.32 stars on average.
Lowest average. Okay.
Yeah, lowest average stars.
Really? Not of Dyson Men.
I don't know if I.
Yeah, you probably
I
didn't
should
put
have
that one.
that
I
on
didn't put
here.
that one on there.
Which, by the way, also now I'm looking at my Oh, so this is, it would be fun at some point to go through these because I'm looking at all the books we've read on the show. Of my 5-star books, the Iowa Baseball Confederacy,
Yeah, I was thinking about that
uh,
one the other day.
which was a great book. The Long Bomb, How XFL Became TV's Biggest Fiasco. We read that. The Last Wish, 5 stars, the first Witcher book. The Wind Up Bird Chronicle, which may be one of my favorite books I've ever read, 5 stars.
How about that?
Devil in the White
Fiction.
City, 5 stars. Yeah, we've read some pretty good books.
We have read some bangers. Are you the kind of person that would? And I've actually asked this question of some people, recently. Are you the kind of person that abandons a book if you don't enjoy it, or do you have to
Oh,
see
yeah.
it through the end?
I got to get like, if I'm more than like 20% in, I'll finish it. But if in that first 20% it doesn't get me, it's toast. Like I'm not dragging through it. I don't care how well reviewed it is or how much it was recommended. Dan actually recommended me a book. Actually, there's like 2 books Dan recommended me, where, bless his heart, we just have different tastes. I started reading it, and within 5 minutes, I'm like, this book is not for me, and I put it away.
Yeah. I think for me it's like a point of no return thing. It's like if it doesn't fully grip me in the first chapter, I usually give it a courtesy chapter. I
Yeah.
read it all the way through. And if I'm really not that it doesn't grip, even if it doesn't grip me, I'll still probably go on a little bit farther. But if I outright hate it, I tried to many years ago. I think I was in like high school or just starting college maybe. I really tried to read Twilight. I just
Mhm.
because everybody was talking about it, it was like a thing, and I was like, it can't be that bad. I couldn't get more. It was 2 pages. I was repulsed
Yes, I could see
at
that.
the prose. It only took 2 pages for me to just want to hurl the thing across the room. It's like this
Yeah.
is vile. So, yeah, no, and rarely do I have that kind of a reaction. It's more just like the not for me kind of thing. It's for somebody out there, but not me. But yeah, I'll give it a chapter, and but even then, if I'm not enjoying like I'm reading Perdido Street Station right now. In the beginning of the book, I wasn't really enjoying myself, and I kind of forced my way through, and now I'm like I can't put it down. Um, and I'm glad. So I'm glad I like kind of saw it through. The first 100 pages or so were a little bit of a slog to me, but because I kept going, I feel like I have the reward now of actually enjoying the book. So I
Yeah,
would be more in the shit.
if a book is pretty mid to start, if it's just kind of average to start, I'll finish it. And there are lots of books I finished where I said, I don't ever need to read that again. I did it. It's gotta really be pretty if I'm like 15 pages in and not wanting to go to page 16, I doubt I'm going to want to finish it, and I kill it. So, but there are a lot of mediocre books I've finished. But those don't end up getting reread. Those end up on collecting dust on the shelf. And there's a few of them for sure. Well, Matt, we're at the end of time here. Great discussion. I feel like we all learned a little something today, didn't we?
Books are good.
Books. Listen, if you out there in listener land take anything away from this episode, books are good. And they're so good. We got a whole nother episode next week on them. We're going to be coming back. Each of us are going to bring a handful of book selections. I'm excited. I have a few in mind, including at least one I haven't read yet, but I've purchased. So one, we've done that before. Where do we gamble on a book we haven't read, or do we feel safe with one we have read? I've got a mix of selections.
One of my favorite books we read, I recommended it, and it's one of my favorite books I think of all time. Going back to books we read on the show was I think it was the Remains of the Day.
We never okay, so
we?
I got to be honest with it, Matt. I think if you went back and tallied all the books we read, so you picked to read it on the show. I bought the book. I never read it, and we never talked about it on the show.
Well, then, I guess
so
I know
you might be a repeat. I have it.
It's one of my choices are.
I have like 2 or 3 Matt books that I purchased for the show and we never got around to doing the episode on.
Consider that on the list. That
we
turned out to be one of my favorite books ever. I would put it in my short list. It's like
Yes,
in my top 10.
you've recommended it like 10 times, and I
Yeah.
own it, and then time comes around for us to do the episode, and we just don't do it. So
Oh yeah.
I'll read it.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
down.
There might be some others that I'm gonna we'll give you the
All
option,
right.
but we'll
All
consider
right.
that one of them. Consider that up there.
But I want to read. I want to read, so
Mhm.
you can give me homework. So folks, definitely subscribe and come back. Of course, upfordebate.tv is our website. All the episodes are there. And of course, get us wherever you get podcasts. Just look for that purple icon. And of course, the video version is on YouTube to see our beautiful faces and what we're discussing. You should subscribe there. And of course, email us upfordebatetv@gmail.com. I'll, of course, plug, as always, our alternate programming here. Of course, my show, Don't Panic, with Dan and Colby. I'm hoping we're doing an episode in the next week or two, but it's busy now that everyone has lives and is adults. But we're going to keep trying over at upfordebate.io or don'tpanic.io, sorry. And then on the other hand, we have a great show that's been kicking ass over at Tomorrow is Canceled for all the latest in video game and pop culture, anime and the like, books even. Go figure. Their spoiler cast. Great show with Matt and the whole gang over at tomorrowiscanceled.com.
It is tomorrow is
Whoops.
canceled pod at gmail.com. No,
But
tomorrow's canceled cast at gmail.com. That is our email address. Tomorrow's canceled pod is our IG, and you can find us on Twitter at tomorrowiscanceledpod.tv.
Yes, Matt, I bought you tomorrowiscanceled.com. Did you know that?
Yes.
It goes
Yes.
it goes to the
We're talking about
Spotify
the website.
page.
Yeah.
The
I
website.
did
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, tomorrowscanceled.com. I got to figure out how to get a link to the Twitch on there.
Yeah.
Because the Twitch is fantastic. You should all follow twitch.tv/tomorrowscanceledpod. Matt does game streams over there once to twice a week. Been playing Resident Evil and has been shooting and blowing up lots of gross looking things, which has been a hoot.
I just keep mentioning this is a puzzle because I think I said that we're I'm like this is we play puzzle games here. We play exclusively puzzle games. Every time I'm like fighting a giant spider, like this is the biggest departure I think. We had the Indiana Jones action game, but that also there were definitely puzzles throughout. This is
the
light
most
on
video game you've played.
Yeah, it's Resident Evil, so it's very very light on the puzzles.
And can I tell you a true story? So I normally watch your streams on my television, and I cast it up there and watch you on the big screen. But Tuesday, I was working on the computer, so I had my iPad here with my AirPods, and you were on the iPad, and so your game was being directly like put into my ears by the AirPods. I had a massive headache from all the shooting noises and the screaming noises, and it wasn't you, it was the game.
Yeah, of course.
And I didn't realize it till I was like halfway into the stream. I'm like, why do I have like a splitting headache? And me, I was like, no, zombies and all. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, so I'm not doing that again.
That would be much. When we go back to Blueprints, you can enjoy. Your ears will thank you.
I need, like Golden Idol kind of had some mild music and all that. Like I need more calm games.
The Golden Idol
literally plug it into my ears.
I feel like the Golden Idol music was kind of annoying. It was like very.
After a while, time-wise, it was. In short bursts, it was pretty good, but for hours, no, it was a lot.
I got some ideas after we finish Requiem. We'll probably do another like more traditional puzzly kind of summer game. And on the pod, we're talking about this Sunday. We're going to record an episode about. You're welcome to join us, of course. We're going to talk about the summer games fest, which begins tomorrow. So, well, technically, it kind of started Tuesday. There was the Sony had their state of play. So we got to talk about the Sony state of play. Summer Games Fest announcements are going to be happening tomorrow afternoon and night, and well into Saturday, and then Sunday we're going to talk about them. So you're going to want to tune in for that.
Yeah, definitely subscribe, follow on Twitch, and subscribe to the podcast, Matt. I promise I'll come on when they make a Remains of the Day video game.
That would be kind of boring. It's about a butler.
Yes.
Butler, actually, you could do something. You could spice that up. They could make that into like some kind of spy game, like 007 First Light, which came out this week, and I'm playing. And
there you go.
Also, I thought about maybe doing a one-off after Requiem of just me playing like a random mission in First Light. That might be kind of cool.
I have seen streamers play Hitman, which looks like a lot of fun, and it's the same people, I think.
It is. It's IO
Um,
Interactive. Yeah, they did
and
Hitman and the 007 game.
and that sort of sneaking it around kind of do. I'm like, okay, this I want to watch Matt do this basically. Is what
Yeah,
I want to
no,
see.
that actually would be pretty ideal for a stream. It's a lot less linear than like Requiem is very linear, and I think
Mhm.
it would be fun to explore. First Light, there's a, a a myriad of ways you can approach an objective and a target, and it really is like a surprising amount of things you can do. And there's stealth sections, and there's negotiation sections, there's actions. So it actually could be pretty cool to run. I would like to run a mission there of First Light, or honestly of Hitman too. That would also be.
Well, listen, guys, make sure you hit that follow button on the Twitch page. Find out when Matt goes live. But that's going to do it for us. So come back next time. But until then, on behalf of myself and Matt, we appreciate you being here. We're going to see you next time for another great episode of Up for Debate.
Next chapter.
The next chapter.